Hi everyone, I'm Carrie Cudney. Thanks for joining me to learn a little bit more about our Stampin' Around Wheels. Wheels are one of the most unique products in our catalog. Plus they're really economical, they're simple to figure out, and they're just really cool. So I'm going to show you how to create this wrapping paper with one of our wheels, but before we dive into the project, I want to review a few of the basics when it comes to our Stampin' Around Wheels. We carry three types of wheels. We have just our standard size wheel, and we have our builder wheels, and we also have jumbo wheels. So there's lots of fun designs and fun things to play with. After you choose your wheel, you're going to need a handle, a standard size handle for the standard size wheel, and a jumbo handle for either the jumbo wheel or the builder wheels. Along with your wheel and your handle, you will also need some ink. You can always ink up a wheel by just rolling it over an ink pad. That's a good way to go, but using an ink cartridge will give you even more even ink coverage. So this will give you one continuous image. You don't have to stop and re-ink several times, and it will give you a really clear, even image. So we have cartridges in basic black. We have the jumbo size and the standard size. Basic black is always a good choice because many of our wheel images are line art images. So if you roll them in black, you can see I'm putting the cartridge in there, and I'll put the jumbo wheel in there and then just kind of release the cartridge. If you roll the line art images in black, then you can always add color with watercoloring or a different color technique. So there's the line art image. You can see the cute baby tees wheel. So that's the black ink cartridge. We also have uninked ink cartridges. These are just, you can see the natural color. I think of these almost like a paint roller, and they are designed for you to ink up and color in whatever color and whatever design you choose. They're really easy to use. Grab a re-inker. I tried to find a lighter color so you could see the ink going on here, and you just kind of go back and forth. Use the tip of the re-inker to spin your cartridge, and then you don't get your fingers all messy. And just kind of keep going until you can't see any of that natural color. I like to ink my cartridges a few minutes or a little bit of time before I use them, because that gives a little bit of time for that ink to really soak and saturate through the cartridge, and that will give you even more even ink coverage. So I won't take the time to do all of this, but like I said, just keep going around until you don't see any more of that natural color. I have done one ahead of time. Put the cover on this one so it doesn't get messy. This is the chamomile wheel, the standard size wheel, and I have an ink cartridge ready to go. So I'll pop the cartridge into the wheel and then pop the wheel in. And this is the wheel that we are going to use to create the wrapping paper. I just purchased some regular brown craft wrapping paper. And my biggest advice when it comes to using wheels is to practice first. I always get a scrap paper or a piece of grid paper. You want to get that wheel going. This will let you know that you're well inked and your ink is even and smooth, and that your wheel is facing the right way, and that you are getting the look that you want. So just practice a little bit. You also might want to practice if it's your first time using a wheel, just to find out what feels best to you. Some people like to push, and some people like to pull it towards them. Some people work right to left, and some people work left to right. So just practice and find out what works best for you. My personal preference is to work left to right and to push away from me. So now I'll get my wrapping paper ready to go here. I'm going to kind of wheel this at a diagonal and just kind of go slow. You can see I've got my finger up on the wheel handle. That kind of creates stability, so I get an even ink coverage. Wrapping paper is a great first project to do as well, because it's really forgiving. If your lines aren't perfectly straight or you have a couple of uneven ink spots, once you get it wrapped around your gift, you won't even notice. So I would just continue wheeling that design over my piece of wrapping paper, and here's what it looks like when it's all done with the cute matching tag. So wheels are really fun. There's so much you can do with them. They make great backgrounds and borders and even focal points on all kinds of paper crafts. So I hope that you purchase one of our Stampin' Around wheels and have fun playing with it. I think you'll be really glad you did. Thanks for joining me.